Welcome to Jewish Gateway's family service. And we are here gathered for the morning of Shabbat and the morning of Rosh Hashanah. And we are going to sing some songs, have a story. We are going to, if you have them, do a project where we put cloves into fruit for a sweet new year. Hi, Susan. Shabbat Shalom. And then we are going to have juice and challah, or whatever you've got there. Anything you have will work. So if anybody has anything that you need, like if you're having trouble seeing or hearing or anything like that, you can chat to our hosts. Our hosts are Gary and Jessica, and they will help you out. So with that, let's get started. We are going to sing a song that we often sing for Shabbat. And Joel, who you may not have seen yet, Joel is our musician, but you will see him as soon as he starts singing. Joel is going to lead us in a song that on Shabbat is Bim Bam Shabbat Shalom. And this morning it is Bim Bam Shabbat Shalom and also Bim Bam Shana Tova. So we're going to be wishing each other a good Shabbat and a good new year. And I'm going to show you two hand motions in case you like hand motions. I like hand motions. One is this. These are two candles, and you go back and forth like this for Shabbat candles or Rosh Hashanah candles. And the other hand motion is like this for bim bam, or can do like this, bim, 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 bam. So any hand motions you like are cool. And no hand motions is fine too. And let's get started. So Joel is going to lead us. Bim bam, Shabbat Shalom, Shana Tova.
Bim bam, bim 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 bam, bim 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 bam. Bim bam, bim 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 bam, bim 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 bam. Shabbat Shalom first. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat 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 Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat 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 Shalom, Shabbat 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 Shalom, Shabbat 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 Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat 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 Shalom. Bam, bim 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 bam, bim 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 bam, bim bam, bim 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 bam, bim 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 bam. Shana Tova, Shana Tova, Shana Tova, Shana 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 Tova, Shana Tova, Shana Tova, Shana 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 Tova, Shana 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 Tova, Shana 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 Tova, Shana Tova, Shana Tova, Shana 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 Tova.
I'm going to invite you, if you haven't yet, to turn to the people there with you and to wish them a Shabbat Shalom, a good Shabbat. If we have a double holiday today, Shabbat and Rosh Hashanah, and to turn to them and say, Shana Tova, Happy New Year. I hope you have a sweet, good year. And I want to invite anybody who's on here and has not turned on your video. If you're comfortable turning it on, please do, because it's so nice to see everybody's faces and get to wave. And if you don't want to turn on your video, that's fine. Either way, but we do really like to see you. And with that, Scott is going to lead us in a song called Hallelujah. Let's say that together. It's a fun word. Hallelujah. Scott, take it away.
Joel, right?
Scott is
Joel.
Scott is another person who leads our music, but Joel doesn't lead music now.
On Fridays.
Sorry if I scared you, Scott. Take it away. Joel.
Okay. Scott, you're sure now?
Go for it.
Hallelujah, 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 sing this song. Hallelujah, hallelujah, singing. Hallelujah. Ready? Let's try it together. Hallelujah, 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 sing this song. Hallelujah, hallelujah, singing. Hallelujah. Raise up your arms and hey, it is the world's birthday today. Did you know that? When we say on Rosh Hashanah, it is the world's birthday. Do you like to get hugs on your birthday? Do you like to get hugs any day? But especially maybe on your birthday. How big would your arms need to be to hug the whole world? Reach your arms out that big. Big, big, big arms up, and then all the way around and give the world a big hug. Raise up your arms and hug the world. Raise up your arms and say, Shana Tova. Okay, I know I didn't really hear you, but I'm sure you said it. Raise up your arms and give the world a big hug. Raise up your arms and sing, Hallelujah. Hallelujah, 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 sing this song. Hallelujah, hallelujah, sing it. Hallelujah. I don't know if you can see what I'm seeing, but I'm seeing Jess's cat, who is dancing to Hallelujah. Can I do that again? Hallelujah, 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 sing this song. Hallelujah, 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 singing. Hallelujah. Do you like to get back rubs? Do you like to give back rubs? Okay, this can be a human, this can be a kitty cat, this can be anybody who's near you. Give a little back rub or a back scratch to someone next to you. Or even to yourself, that's right. Give a little back scratch and say, oh, that feels good. Give a little back rub to someone next to you. Give a back rub and sing, Hallelujah. Hallelujah, 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 sing this song. Hallelujah, 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 sing it. Hallelujah, let's do it one more time. Hallelujah, 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 sing this song. Hallelujah, 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 sing it. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah.
Hallelujah. This is a sort of messy version of how people who are deaf or hard of hearing and speak American Sign Language applaud. So if you feel like saying, hey, I like that, this is a nice way to do it. And now we are going to move on to our Schma Prayer. It's a short prayer, but it's a prayer that a lot of people really like to say. Some people say it in the morning, some people say it at night. And we're going to hear about it right now. And I want to ask you to do something. Lift up your finger. And I bet you know when you see what I do with my finger, what I'm going to do. So follow along with me. That means we're going to get very quiet. And now follow along with me with your hand. I'm listening. And now with both hands. Ah.
Ah.
So let's put it together. Hmm. Ah. So this is a prayer about listening to hear all the ways that we are one big family with everything in the world. People, flowers. We are all connected, and we want to watch and listen for that. So Joel is going to lead us now in the Shema Prayer, and let's join in together. I'm going to cover my eyes so I can really listen. You can do that if you want to. You don't have to.
Shema. I forgot to say we're going to use one breath for each word. We'll just start again. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad.
So that means they're quiet Jewish people and listen. We have one God, and that God helps us all connect. And since we're all connected, that means we need to treat flowers and people and everybody else the way we would want to be treated, which usually means being kind to other people and kind to flowers and the rest of the earth. And now I want to tell you a story. And this is going to be a story about a plant, not flowers, but an apple tree. So once upon a time, there was a corner of the world that was thick with apple trees. They stretched up high and they spread out. Some of them were old and some of them were new. And there was one apple tree that was very little at the beginning of the story. She was born one morning when she started growing up out of the earth. And she was surrounded by all the other apple trees. And they waved their branches and said, "Welcome to the world, little apple tree." The little apple tree grew and grew every day. She learned many stories from all of her tree relatives. And one night she had just grown tall enough to see past the branches of the other trees. And she looked up and she saw the most amazing thing, the night sky. It was full of stars and planets and comets and the moon. It seemed like there were stars dangling off of the other trees' branches. It was amazing. Beautiful, shiny, sparkling, dazzling stars. They were so special. And when the apple tree saw them, she knew she wanted to have stars on her branches too. She looked up, took a deep breath, And she said, God, I would like to have stars dangling off my branch. Can I have stars? I see that the bigger trees have beautiful stars hanging off them. I want some just like that. And she heard God whisper to her, little apple tree, just wait. You'll see your stars one day. The apple tree said, I want them now. But no stars. Time moved forward and the days grew shorter and colder. And guess what season it was? It was winter. And the tree wiggled a little to stay warm. And at night, when the sky turned dark, dark blue, she would look up. And what did she see? Those beautiful stars dangling off her family, the trees that were taller than her. And they looked so bright and warm against the dark sky. And not too long after, colorful flowers started popping up through the snow. Everyone started to wake up. Some of the trees had extra green leaves sprouting out. And they were feeling so good as it got warmer and warmer. And you could smell the flowers. They smelled so delicious. And children and grown-ups would come and smell the flowers on the little apple tree. And they would rest under her branches. Thank you, they always said to the little apple tree. This made her very happy. But at night, she looked up sadly and saw she did not have any stars. Soon it was summer. It got so hot. And the thirsty trees drank up every bit of water and grew bigger and bigger and bigger. And the summer passed, and it was nice for all the people who came when it was hot and sat under the little apple tree and said, thank you. And then after the summer was gone, the leaves were changing color. They were red and orange and brown, and people would pass through and they would say, look at those beautiful leaves. And they came and saw that the apple tree had an apple. This was new. And they plucked an apple from the branches and they would take a bite. Oh, it's so good, they said to the little apple tree. And that made her happy. And when she looked up and still did not see any stars, you know what? She started to cry. And that night, a strong wind blew through the forest. It blew so hard that one of the apples dropped, boom, and it fell on the ground. And the little apple tree looked down. My apple, it broke. But do you know what she saw when she looked down at that apple? Let me show you. She saw a star in the middle of the apple. She had had a star there for quite a while and she didn't even know it. Wow, she said, look at that. I had stars inside me. And the forest trees smiled down at her and said, yes, you do. And I'm telling you this story today, even though it's kind of make-believe, it's make-believe about little apple trees talking, but it is not make-believe about apple trees having stars in them. So the reason I'm telling you this story is that I want you to know that every one of us, you and me, everybody there, Lucia and Morgan and Caleb and Maya and all the other people here, we have stars inside us too. And what that means is every one of us has special things that we can do really well. And in this new year, I want you and your family to talk a little about what is your special star, your special spark inside. Maybe you're good at giving hugs. Maybe you're good at patting cats. Maybe you're good at stirring food. Whatever it is you're good at is a gift you can give to everybody you know in this new year. So our star is going to say goodbye for now, but she is still there, and she's also inside of each one of us. And now we are going to sing a song about apples and honey, because honey, apples are something we often eat in the new year. So I just cut my apple. I'm going to get my pretend jar of honey. You can get your pretend or your real honey and apple and dip it in. Oh, so yummy for a sweet new year. And let's sing.
Apples and honey on Rosh Hashanah. Apples and honey on Rosh Hashanah. A good year, a sweet year. Apples and honey on Rosh Hashanah. Apples and honey on Rosh Hashanah. Apples and honey on Rosh Hashanah. A good year, a sweet year. Apples and honey on Rosh Hashanah. Apples and honey on Rosh Hashanah.
A sweet new year we all wish to one another, as sweet as apples and honey. Now,
or maybe as sweet as oranges and cloves.
Yes. And for those of you who have there some fruit and some cloves, we let people know that you could pick those up from us, from Jewish Gateways, from people's houses, on their porches, or if you have some yourself, I want to invite you to do a little work on our project. And our project here is to take fruit. I have a lemon actually, but you could have an orange, you could have an apple that was not cut open. And our project is to take cloves and poke them into the fruit to make something very sweet smelling for a sweet new year. Now I'm going to show you, so I invite everyone who's got fruit and cloves to stick the cloves into the fruit. And if it's tough, if it's hard to stick in, you can take anything like a pencil or anything pokey to make the holes. And while we start doing that, I'm going to tell you what happened to me. It is very silly. This here is what is called a spice box. And we use it for Havdalah, the ceremony for saying goodbye to Shabbat. And mine has cloves in it. And it smells so good. So I thought, I don't need to get cloves. I have them in my Havdalah box, my spice box. But you know what? I can't get it open. So I have my lemon. I have my cloves, but I cannot stick my cloves into my lemon. So I figured what I would do is invite some of you all to show us your fruit that you are sticking cloves into, and I'll just have to do mine later. So let's see what we have here. Oh, is that Caleb? Yes, wonderful. Anyone who would like to unmute yourself for a minute, wave your hand so we don't talk over each other. And then I'm going to call on you if I see you. And if I don't see you, I'm going to invite Joel or Jess or Gary to call on you. And then you can tell us anything you want to about your cloves and apple or orange or lemon. Who do we have here? Let's see. Anybody want to raise your hand and tell us? Do you see anybody, Jess or Joel or Gary? I want to see some.
Not yet. I'm looking on 2 screens.
Okay, Leah and Elan, go ahead and unmute and tell us what you got there.
So I sticked cloves into a banana.
Oh,
Good.
that is going to make you a really, really big, sweet, special, smelling New Year present. Wonderful. Rachel, thank you. Anybody else who would like to share what you've got? Let's see here. Do we have anyone else who wants to raise their hand?
The Dillon family is raising their hands and unmuted.
Let's hear from you. And then I see Sasha waving her hand. So Dylan's first.
We're sticking ours into an apple.
Great. How does it smell so far?
It smells really good. It smells like sweet and sour at the same time.
Ah, hold it up and let's all take a sniff of it. Hold it up close to the screen, okay? Take a sniff, everybody. Ah. And now I think we have Sasha's family raise their hand.
Hi, everybody. So we stuck ours into apples as well. I put my name in with cloves.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Apple.
Hold it up close and tell us your name so we can see.
Anna.
Oh my gosh. I love it.
And Bubba made this our apple.
Wow.
The rapple.
A rapple? Happy New Year, each one of you. That's beautiful. Anybody else who wants to share your sweet New Year fruit and cloves?
Miles has his hand raised.
Okay, go right ahead.
Sold into an orange.
An orange. Wonderful. Hold it up. I see it. I see a stripe on that orange. Very cool. Anybody else? Let's see. I think I see Isaac's hand up.
Apple.
Whoa. Is that a face? It looks a little like a face.
Not really supposed to be. Well, yes, not supposed to be, but just an apple, and I'm putting the cloves anyway.
Yeah.
I'm lining them up in a row of 3. Okay.
Excellent. To me, it looked like a face. But it could look like anything you wanted to. Anybody else? Okay, I see Lex's hand, or no, that's Abby's hand up. Abby, tell us what you got.
Apple, yeah.
Are you eating it? Lex, is she eating it?
She is.
Is it sweet and yummy? Want to say anything, Abby? Okay, Shana Tova. Okay, Caleb.
I did an orange.
You did an orange. Will you hold it up where we can see it? I can barely see it because it's in your, oh, now I see it. Great. I bet it smells delicious. Anybody else? We're going to move on in just a minute to do more singing, but anybody else, just wave your hand. And is that Porter's family? Are you waving your hand? No. Okay. I see Kyle's family. Yes. Kyle and Scott and Juniper.
Sure.
Share that.
You can say right here, speak up, Eddie.
We have an orange.
We have an orange.
Wonderful. That orange is enormous, Juniper.
What was it?
Yes. Who is
Oh, they did it like
You see
yes.
that?
little.
Yeah.
Rabbi Bridget.
Do that too.
Daniel Whitney.
Let's see what you got.
Yeah.
You don't even need to do holes. I thought
You want to tell Daniel? Say
Yeah, say what you have, Daniel. Tell Rabbi.
I got a lemon.
Yum. Lemons and cloves smell really good.
Yeah.
What I do now, because we are going to sing another song, is I want everyone to hold your fruit up and let's wish each other, just like our cloves and our fruit, a sweet new year. Sniff. Sweet New Year to everybody here. Shana Tova Umituka. A good and sweet year. And I hope you will finish your project and put it someplace where you can smell it to remind you for a sweet year. And now Joel is going to lead us in a song, and then we are going to sing a song about a shofar, and then we're going to hear a shofar. So our next song is about what we do at the new year, which is we can turn around and become even better people. So Joel, take it away.
And the song is all about turning. And that Hebrew word is, and if you want, you can even, we'll learn it together, and you can unmute and say it all at once. It'll be a great big noisy Zoom, but that's fine if you want to do that, and you don't have to. The word is teshuvah. Ready? Let's say it. 1, 2, 3. Teshuvah. We'll do it one more time. Teshuvah. Your turn. And that's, it's a great word. It means about 20 different things in Hebrew. It means turning. It means returning. It's 2 different kinds of answering. It's a bunch of other things too. Can you say tefillah?
Tefillah.
Okay, one more time. Tefillah. And then tzedakah. Can we say that? Great. Now we're going to sing together, and that gets messy when we're not muted. So we'll mute it, and you can just know that everybody else is singing too. And we'll do it together. That's too low for my voice right now. Turning, turning, turning on this holy day. Turning, turning. Now, what's a good thing to do when you sing about turning?
Get up and turn.
I already see somebody do it. I'm not. Who that look? Oh, Caleb. Caleb must have been turning. Turning, turning, turning. I know you might think, wait a minute, is this Hanukkah? Is this about dreidels? Not really, but it's kind of doing the same thing. Turning, turning, turning on this holy day. Turning, 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 each in our own way. We'll do that again. Turning, turning, turning on this holy day. Turning, 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 each in our own way. We turn to each other. You can reach out and give them a big hug if you want to. We turn to each other. Here comes that first Hebrew word. That's teshuvah. We turn to God. That's tefillah. And take your feely fingers for tefillah. And anybody know where God is? Some say God's up there. Some say God's down here. Some say God is everywhere. Some say God is inside me. Wherever God is, just reach your feely fingers around and feel God. We turn to God. That's tefillah. We turn to those in need of care who might be right next to you, and you can give them a hug. It could be somebody out in the big world who's hungry. It could be somebody who needs a house, a home, a shelter. There's ways to help people. We turn to those in need of care. That's called, and it's our last word, tzedakah. All the way through the song, one more time. Turning, turning, turning on this holy day. Turning, 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 each in our own way. We turn to each other. That's teshuvah. We turn to God. That's tefillah. We turn to those in need of care. That's called tzedakah. Ready? Tzedakah. Yay. Thank you for singing.
Great job, everybody. I am not going to get up and turn because I will knock over my flowers and my microphone and all kinds of things. But I love to see you turning. And now we are going to sing our shofar song, and then we are going to hear a shofar. So Joel is going to teach us how to make our own shofar hand motions and sing along, and then we'll hear the real shofar.
And I see Susanna's getting all ready and warming up. Good morning, Suzanne. Thank you for being here. You guys are in for a treat. There are 3 different tunes. I'm going to call them tunes because there's not just one tone. It's different tunes with more than one tone that the shofar makes. The first one is a tekiah. Let's say the Hebrew word, and if you want to unmute, you can do that again too. Tekiah. And it goes like that. And you can do that with your hand. You can put your hand up and go. Then there's a shevarim, which is down and up, down and up, down and up 3 times. And we're going to do this with our voices too, like this. Shevarim, like that. Shevarim. And the last one, you gotta have to kind of go like that, and you can wiggle your hand like this for the We do 9 of them. We call them teru teru Oh my goodness! The shofar road are already going. Now my hands are going to be busy, so I'm going to be relying on you to do the hands. And we'll sing, and you know what? It's messy and noisy if you're unmuted. If you're muted, I don't care. If you want to unmute and just be goofy and crazy and make a lot of Zoom noise, that's fine. And if you want to mute and sing along muted, that's also fine. I like to hear the shofar blast, sometimes slow and sometimes fast. I like to hear the shofar blast. Shana, shana, shana tova. I like to hear the shofar blast, sometimes slow and sometimes fast. I like to hear the shofar blast. Shana, shana, shana tova. Now I'll sing a tekiah, and then you sing right after me. Tekiah, your turn. Tekiah. Shevarim. Ready? Shevarim. Teru. Ready? Teru. I like to hear the shofar blast, sometimes slow and sometimes fast. I like to hear the shofar blast. Shana, shana, shana tova. And there's Jess's dancing kitty cat again. I like to hear the shofar blast, sometimes slow and sometimes fast. I like to hear the shofar blast. Shana, shana, shana tova. Now I forgot one, or I shouldn't say forgot, I left one out. And it's a big tekiah, and we call that in Hebrew a tekiah gedolah. Did I say that? Tekiah gedolah. We'll do all of them. First tekiah. Tekiah. Your turn. Tekiah. Shevarim. Shevarim. And a big breath for a tekiah gedolah. Tekiah gedolah. I like to hear the shofar blast, sometimes slow and sometimes fast. I like to hear the shofar blast. Shana, shana, shana tova. I like to hear the shofar blast, sometimes slow and sometimes fast. I like to hear the shofar blast. Shana, shana, shana tova. Shana, shana, shana tova. Shana, shana, shana tova. Yay! Now we all really are going to mute ourselves, because now is the time for listening. And Bridget and Suzanne, like I said, you guys are in for a treat.
So let's all get our fingers up like we did a while ago, but this time it's not for the Shema, it's for the shofar, because we want to really listen to the shofar, and it's going to wake us up.
Suzanne, you're muted.
To help us be kind of people. We really want to be kind people in the new year. So let's all begin with our shush. And now let's listen. I think I'm awake. Maybe before I was kind of awake, but now I'm awake.
Here's a really funny word that you can say when someone does something cool, especially in a service. Ready? It's kind of all mushed together. Shkoyach.
Koach.
Shkoyach.
Koach.
It's short for Yasher Koach, which is the same thing. It's like, may you be strong and may your strength go forward, but it's fun to say it quick like that. Yeshkoyach.
Yeshkoyach.
Shkoyach.
Thank you, Suzanne.
So, Suzanne, shkoyach.
A wonderful shofar blower. And now that I'm really, really awake, I think it's time for some juice and challah. So I've got my juice and I've got my big round challah. If you got any of those things, you can get them out. And if you don't, you can absolutely pretend. And so let's make our blessing over our juice. Please lead us, Joel.
Ready? We're going to say the blessing over grape juice or wine, and if you have something else, you can say these words anyway, but here they are. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen.
Amen and l'chaim.
L'chaim.
And now I'm going to get out my challah. You can get out your challah or anything you have that is like challah. I am going to lift mine up. And what I'm going to invite everybody to do is, if you're there with other people, touch each other so you're on the challah train. And then I'm going to invite everybody to reach out so we can all get on the same challah train together. Get on the train, and Joel, please lead us.
Okay, and you know what? This is like not good Zoom etiquette, but I don't care. I love hearing all of you. So anybody who wants to unmute, feel free to unmute. I'll give you 5 seconds to do that. 4, 3, 2, 1. And anybody who wants to say the prayer, say it with me. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen.
Why do I not?
Yummy challah, yummy juice for a sweet and yummy new year. That has been a really fun time with you all this morning.
It was a real treat.
Shofars. Thank you for making our new year more sweet. Thank you for turning and hugging and saying happy birthday to the world and giving it a big hug. So let's give each other a big hug for Happy New Year before we go. Reach out. Oh! Shana Tova, everybody. And I invite you to unmute, and you can just call out Shana Tova or Shabbat Shalom or goodbye or see you later, whatever you'd like.
Shana Tova.
Suzanne, it's nice to hear you.
Hi, Abby.
That one's Nina.
Hi, Grandma and Grandpa. Shana Tova. Tanya. Thank you, Rabbi Bridget and Joy.
Thank you. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Shana Tova.
Shana Tova.
Shana Tova.
Is tree message? Okay.
And I want to thank Jess and Gary. Can you both wave? Thank you, Jess and Gary. Yes, there they are. They made all of this possible. And thank Joel, who played our music, led us in music where we were turning.
Hi, Jake and Ellie.
And having apples and honey.
Happy birthday, Lindsay.
You know what I just remembered, Scott?
Thank you.
Announcements and I forgot.
Well, we can save them for another service.
Yes, okay. We will do that. Scott was going to let you know about some things that are going on, and we will email you. I got so excited I forgot about them. I apologize, Scott. I'm going to email everybody with our announcements.
No problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got off easy today.
You did. I see the Dorman Barrera family. I see Atticus. I see.
See you soon.
Yeah. I see
at least three generations of Dorman Barreras.
and a grandson. Hello there.
Hey, Bert.
I see Emma. Emma. Maybe.
Okay, Jess, I love your dancing kitty cat. Hilarious.
And
They were very interested in what we were doing.
They were interested in taking your attention away from what we were doing. We all know what cats are really about.
Yeah. Okay, everybody. Shana Tova.